What's going on, everybody? This is JohnJake Baseball on the mic here, coming at you with some more USBL action here as we go ahead and wrap up the last bit of gameplay before we go into the All-Star break here in season number 2. So it's going to be a good one. Make sure you go ahead, smash that like button for me, as well as hit that subscribe button as well if you have to be brand new to the channel as well. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got our first game on tap between the Cleveland Rockers and the San Antonio Outlaws. But the Outlaws are not waiting that long to strike. They are messing on the mess around and find out front. And San Antonio, off of the first at-bat, by the way, already getting themselves one run up on the board to show for it. And so, that being said, San Antonio takes the 1-0 lead. Jose Ramirez looked to add on to that, but will end up striking out. Levi Kelly will be able to get out of this inning with just that one hit that got over the outfield wall. As we'll go ahead now and jump into the bottom of the second inning now, as Cleveland was not able to score on their first couple of innings, their first 6 batting appearances, as Nate Lowe is showing the Cleveland Rockers how it's done. Nate Rowe getting a nice hit out into left field. It actually does make it all the way out to the wall. It's the 9th double of the season for Nate Lowe. As now Trent Graham, he's going to go ahead. He hits a nice shot out into left field as well. That's almost a home run. That would have been the second home run on the day for the San Antonio Outlaws. But it will suffice in bringing an RBI double, though, as it will make it a 2-0 affair, trying to extend the lead. At least Jan Gomes was trying to go for that, but that's going to be a strikeout for him. Rafael Tapia looking to bring it home, and looks like he might be doing just that. Tapia will remain at first base. San Antonio will once again get another run on the board, and manager's going to come out and have a conversation with Levi Kelly, trying to get him calmed down a little bit. And it seemed to work because he was at least able to get out of that second inning, but definitely not a smooth start whatsoever for Levi Kelly. And it's only going to get worse as Teoscar Hernandez takes him yard, going to get it all the way out into right center field, and it is gone. 20th home run of the season for Teoscar Hernandez, and that makes it a 4-0 game now. Nate Lowe looking to add on to it, but he will end up just deciding to do some window shopping, as he will strike out looking. But San Antonio Outlaws are off to a very nice start right now, up 4-0 already, as Zach Davies has been looking really good so far in this ball game, but eventually you got to get that 0 off the board, and Colin Moran making sure he's getting that taken care of in a massive way. Moran gonna send this one all the way out into left center field, and it is gone. 8th home run of the season for him, and that is also the 8th home run of the season for Colin Moran, as the good old goose egg that the Cleveland Rockers had gets off the board. But San Antonio continues their hot start to this ball game. Trent Grisham hits a moonshot out to right field. It is the 5th home run of the season for him, and now San Antonio, they're up 5-1 in this ball game, as the Outlaws continue to just be on fire, just taking advantage of poor Levi Kelly. It's going to be interesting to see if he even makes it through to the 4th inning. We'll have to see what happens with that, but Levi Kelly will calm himself down a little bit, at least make sure he gets there, but he will need a little bit of help from his offense. Shai Langeliers, who just came up recently, he's 1 for 7 so far, so definitely not the most ideal start, I would say. But we'll see if he can turn around here. Top of the 5th inning, has a great chance to do so, as Shylin Gears, he hits a moonshot out of the left field, and thought it was going to be gone for a home run, but I'm sure Shylin Gears is going to be more than happy with a double, his first double of the season, as that now does get runners in scoring position. Ryan Mountcastle got the bases loaded for him, 2 outs in this ball game. as Ryan Mountcastle with a chance to go ahead. He hits it out in the center field, and it's going to be brought down. Could see a second run score here, or how about that throw? Oh my, Shywin Gears trying to rush himself home, but it was a bold strategy for Cotton, and it did not work out for him whatsoever. So that will go ahead and take us into the bottom of the 6th inning. Trent Grisham up to the plate once again. He's been on absolute fire so far. Is that going to be another home run? Oh, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. It's not a home run, but he's going to try to round second. He's going to third and will be marked safe. So Trent Grisham continuing his amazing day at the plate. Only 90 feet away from home. Yan Gomes going to make sure that he gets there, as it does end up driving in yet another run for the San Antonio Outlaws, as we now have a 6-2 game. Is now top of the 7th inning coming here. Quasius Aquino, one of the outfielders that was elevated for the Cleveland Rockers. He's been a little down bad this season. 207 batting average so far to show for it. We're going to see if he can turn around against Joakim Soria. And how about that hit out in the left field? It's going to be carried, and it's going to be gone. Another home run, 8th home run this season for Quasius Aquino. Is now Delwyn Benches trying to go ahead and see if he can lock things down here. Ken Grubb, who's been good in gameplay, not so much in the in simulation, and is not doing that good here today either. But Aquino does at least get a solo shot hit out into left field to at least make things a little bit more interesting. But I mean, Jose Leclerc, he's a bad man. I mean, I don't know what else needs to be said about that. He is certainly a bad man, and he's going to get the save after an easy grounder. Aquino could not beat it out in time, so Cleveland did its best to try to put up a really good fight at the end of his ball game, but that just did not happen for them. As San Antonio, they will keep pace in that vaunted AL West, winning 6-3. As we go ahead and take a look at another divisional matchup in the American League Central, here we have the Columbus Jets taking on the Chicago Freeze, and Chicago is one of those teams, you know, not as good as what they were last year, but this is still a talented baseball team. They are still certainly in the hunt to make it back to the playoffs once again. But don't sleep on this Columbus Jets squad. This is a baseball team, of course, that was sellers at the trade day back in year number 1, but here we are, season number 2, and Columbus is actually a competitive team. That signing for Clayton Kershaw in the offseason, that really did help them out quite a bit. I love to see that. But let's go ahead and see what Corey Seager has to offer. He is more of a home guy, not somebody that hits necessarily that well on the road. Let's see if he can change that here a little bit, as Corey Seager gets his bat jammed a little bit, but it will manage to drop in the center field right in front of Alex Verdugo, and that will go ahead and give Columbus Jets the lead. So that certainly helps out the cause. We'll see if Acuna Jr. can build onto that, but he tried to check his swing, and he still ends up whiffing anyways. Yeah, absolutely hate to see it. But we'll take a look at the custom recruit for the Columbus Jets. He's starting today. A little custom prospect alert. Jacob Miller, he came up during the second half of season number 1. Still remained on the season 2 roster. Is now, he's got a difficult matchup. This Chicago team is certainly a tough bunch to play up against. There's no denying that. As Alex Verdugo, he's going to hit a little grounder into right field. This could actually bring in a couple runs unless he can be gunned down right here, but that will not be happening whatsoever. So Chicago already managed to get a few runs up on the board. Jacob Miller getting torn apart here a little bit. He's been having his growing pains, you know, in his full rookie campaign, that's for sure. But that being said, Jacob Miller will work his way out of the inning at the very least, as we will go ahead and see Renato Nunez here in the top of the second inning. We'll see what Nunez can do against Joe Musgrove as we get this second inning of action started and underway. As that's going to be hit out into the outfield as well. Gives Michael Brantley some chase. Alex Verdugo will eventually pick it up, but not before settling in for a double. So Columbus is back at it again with the white vans. They will have a runner in scoring position. And not too long after, Nunez is actually going to go ahead and get himself home. Could be a double for this base runner right here. And as he gets in there safely, Raul Batista with a double. That makes it just a one-run game, but they'll have to wait just a little bit longer before they can go about and tying this game up. Colin Wong did some window shopping. He struck out looking, but you know who isn't going to be doing any looking? Joey Gallo. He doesn't look. He attacks, and he attacked that ball, didn't he? He got that one out there. 469 feet. That is absolutely ridiculous. You already know. Joey Gallo may be a high strikeout guy, but man, does he hit a pretty baseball when he does make contact with it. As look at this swing for Joey Gallo. Just kind of golf swung that thing, and it just, the rest is history, you know. It helps Chicago extend their lead. It's now a 6-2 lead for the Chicago Freeze. As now Verdugo, he's going to try to gun down one of the Columbus runners, but throw is not going to be in time. So Columbus, they end up going ahead and getting themselves yet another run across the plate. It's been an exciting little bit of action right here, as it just simply doesn't stop. It really does not. You'll love to see all of the offensive fireworks. We don't see them as often as we do in season 1, after we did end up tweaking some sliders to try to make things a little bit more realistic at the end of the day. As Austin Riley does get that 2-run double, as now Cesar Hernandez, he's looking to try to keep it going. Maybe time for game up for the Columbus Jets. So we're here in the top of the fourth. Yes, someone actually got to stop a clean inning. The first 0 on the board all day long, but somebody should have told the Columbus Jets that. Corey Seager puts a belt into that one and sends it out 415 feet. That's the 19th home run for Corey Seager. And all of a sudden, Columbus, they're all tied up here. You know, they have a chance to even take the lead if they are able to do so, but Ronald Acuna Jr. takes a bad swing at an outside pitch, and that will end up being struck out. So now, top of the 5th inning here, Ronaldo Nunez got a 1-1 count here, as now Pivetta looking to deliver the pitch. He's going to get it out there into left field, and it's going to be hit all the way out to the wall. This could give the Columbus Jets the lead, and it does. So Columbus now, they're jumping ahead after being down 6-2. The runs just keep coming. Raul Batista looking to keep the good vibes going, but he does his window shopping too and will end up ending the top of the 5th inning. But look at this, man. We're halfway through the game now, and we already got 14 hits, 13 runs to show for it as well. It's been a really fun one for sure, and I'm sure Joey Gallo is going to want to keep that going. Had a 3-run home run back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. He's back at the plate again here in the 5th. We'll see if he can keep it going as Gallo gets a hold of another one, and it's sent deep out in the right field, and it's gone. Home run for Joey Gallo, and it is going to be the 15th home run of the season. But to top it off, this game is now all tied up once again, all nailed at 7 apiece here. As Alex Verdugo, he's going to get a nice hit out in the center field. Actually going to try to stretch it to a double, and does manage to go ahead and get himself in there in time as well. So now Reese McGuire has a chance to give the lead back to the Chicago Freeze. He's 0 for 2 on the day so far, a strikeout and a ground out being charged to him thus far. It's now bottom of the 5th. Reese gonna go ahead. He's gonna hit this one out into left field. It's gonna be carrying, and it stays fair as well. And the Chicago Freeze gonna get that lead right back, and it's already 9-7. Ooh boy, getting some offensive action here today. Matter of fact, Columbus going to the bullpen, try to slow things down a little bit. Cal Quantrill, he's going to go ahead and make his 39th appearance of the season. Gonna actually get Michael Brantley to ground out to the first baseman. So nice job by Cal Quantrill to slow down the bleeding. And so Chicago, they got plenty of runs in that inning. They certainly did, but the bleeding stops, and now Columbus, they got a chance to add some more. And Corey Seager taking full advantage of that as well. He sends this one out in the center field, and that's going to be gone. Another home run for Corey Seager. That's number 20 on the year thus far, as the Columbus narrows down that gap just a little bit. As we go ahead, jump into the bottom of the 6th inning, Andrelton Simmons, we're going to get this, enjoy some of this home run derby that they have going on. Almost managed to get that one out of the park. You know, I thought the home run derby was going to be in the next episode, but I must be sorely mistaken, because we're seeing a lot of home runs in this specific game right here. You know, definitely a lot of fireworks. Joey Gallo also almost gets his 3rd home run of this game. Was only just a few feet shy. Andrelton Simmons is still going to be able to get home here as well. So that will go ahead and make it a 10-8 game. Is now bottom of the 7th. Holding Caps coming in, try to keep it at just a 2-run deficit. Columbus offense is starting to go ahead and fizzle out just a little bit, but it's not getting any better. One team stops scoring, the other team keeps scoring. That, could end up being the ultimate difference, as Chicago puts together yet another run out there on the board. Chris Taylor with his 15th RBI double of the season. As now Reese McGuire back at it again, has a runner on scoring position. We'll see if he can bring him home, and it just gets past the 3rd base line. This should be able to bring in yet another run, and Chicago tacks on yet another run. We got a dozen, and it's a 4-run deficit. Andrelton Simmons back at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 count that they got going right now, as Simmons looks to go 3 for 3 here. The delivery is coming. Simmons, and it's an absolute no-doubter. Nobody moving from their spots. It leaves the ballpark. Simmons belting a .419 home run, and it ends up being the 5th home run of the season. So here we go. 14-8 game. Is this the point where Chicago really starts to break away? Nah, that's not gonna exactly happen, but I mean, a 6-run lead, given that there is only an inning and a half potentially left to play, I feel like that's pretty good. 6-run lead, 6 outs left to go. I'm sure Oliver Perez is going to agree with that as well. Doesn't have any saves. Want to give a little bit of rest to JB Wendelken, as well as Aroldis Chapman to top it off. As now, top of the 9th inning, Seager looking to keep it going, but is going to strike out here as well. So the 2nd strikeout of the game for him, as now Harold Ramirez is going to be in charge of trying to keep this game alive just a little bit longer. But Harold Ramirez, he gets a nice thing off that ball, and it's going to bring in at least 1 run. Should very well bring in 2. And Harold Ramirez giving the city of Columbus something to believe in, is now Renito Nunez with a chance to bring Harold Ramirez home. He does, and doesn't even need to sprint around the bases. Can be a nice little jog for him. 11th home run of the year. So now Chicago, they got to go ahead and bring their real closer, JB Wendelken. He comes into the game now, and it's a 2-2 count. As now Raul Batista, 1 for 4. They're going to go ahead, and he's going to go get a nice little hit down second base, but a weak grounder that will end up finishing the madness. And oh boy, that was an exciting one, that for sure. Chicago will end up winning this game 14-12, and it helps Chicago catch up to Minnesota in that AL Central race. We'll go ahead and take a look at two teams going in a couple of different directions. The Boston Quakers, they were sellers last year. Now they're on top of the American League. Houston, meanwhile, they were buyers at the trade day. They got Nick Anderson, only to trade him away in season number 2 in order to bolster up their prospect pin a little bit more. And yeah, they're in last place right now in the American League West. You want to talk about a fall from grace, going from being one game away from going to the World Series to now a team that is selling key pieces in order to build for the future. You know, it's really rough out here for the Houston Hurricanes, but right now Houston isn't doing so bad necessarily. I mean, they do have at least a 1-0 lead, but Astrobal Cabrera, though, I mean, pretty slow fella. He gets gunned down relatively easily, as that will potentially get runners to the corners, but both of them will end up being stranded, and JC Cloney will get them out of the inning for now. As we go ahead and jump into the 4th inning, one of the MVP candidates from season 1, Keston Hiura, he's at the plate and he hits this one out to right field. It does go ahead and make it all the way out to the wall, so the top of the 4th inning does end up getting started with a Keston Hiura double. We'll see if Luis Robert can go ahead and bring him home, and doing it just with trotted around the bases, as Luis Robert hits a no-doubt shot out to left field. It's going to be the 12th home run of the season for him. As now, Mookie Betts, he's going to go ahead and get himself to work. 3-0 game here. Betts looking to get the goose egg off the board for Boston, and that's why Boston's been as good as they've been. Mookie Betts not only having a really good season, but the talent around him is producing a little bit more. It's helping carry Boston too, but it is first place in the American League East right now. Mac Muncy also hitting a ton of home runs as well. That certainly helps out the cause, as Edwin Rios looks to get something going as well, but he ends up whiffing at a bunch of air. He strikes out swinging. So David Peterson does end up surrounding a run, but that being said, though, Houston still has a 3-1 lead to work with. We'll see if JD Davis in the meantime can add on to that a little bit, and sure enough, he does do just that. JD Davis with a moonshot on JC Cloney. It's the 12th home run of the year for JD Davis, as Houston now holding a 4-1 lead as of right now. Christian Vasquez, he thought he had a walk. That was a misunderstanding. As now, Kevin Vestino, 0 for 2 on the day so far, dealing with David Peterson. Here comes the 3-2 delivery. Vestino, he hits this one out really far out there into left field, and it's going to leave the ballpark. Only his 2nd home run of the entire season. David Peterson will end up finishing the 5th inning, though. But that being said, let's go ahead, jump to the bottom of the 7th as we'll look to see if Boston can tie this thing up. We haven't heard from Jake Marinofsky, but every time we see him in gameplay, it seems like he's always doing something, and that's not necessarily an exception here. Beating, or at least speeding up the clock for that shortstop, it's going to be considered an error. And, you know, we say that walks haunt. Well, errors could potentially haunt as well, but right now, you know, Houston not phased. A couple of strikeouts here. Makes it 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, but Jonathan Villar, the acquisition from the Phoenix Firebirds, well, he hits a nice little shot out there, and it's going to be the 12th home run for Jonathan Villar. And so, with that error haunting them, now Boston is out there with the lead, and they have a chance to add some insurance run as well. Robert Poussin, a former top prospect, he's now at the plate. He was actually acquired, I believe, in the Season 1 USBL trade day from the Houston Hurricanes. So now his old organization, he's here, kind of proved him, hey, maybe you shouldn't have traded me, you know, as he extends his hitting streak. Actually, he now has an 8-game hitting streak. As we cut a little bit further into the bottom of the 8th inning, as Jake Marinowski has the bases loaded for him, looking to actually get his first legitimate hit, and it's not going to happen here, but action forced at first base because he was hustling down that first base line. It does bring a run home, as it's now a 2-run lead and will stay a 2-run game here, as Boston does end up getting that insurance run that they needed. And that being said, Boston, despite the fact that they only had 4 hits in the entire, I'm not like literally just 4 hits, they still managed to find a way to win the ball game. That is something crazy to me, to be honest with you guys. But that being said, Boston will go ahead. They win this one by a final score of 6-4. But let's go ahead and check into the last game of this episode. The last game that we'll show before we go into the USBL All-Star game in the next episode. It's an NL Central Divisional matchup between the Memphis Bobcats and the Louisville Colonials. We got Yu Darvish and Jordan Balzovic facing off against each other. We'll see if it turns to a pitching duel, but Giancarlo Stanton has something a little bit different to say about that. He hits this one out into right field, and Giancarlo Stanton, he's actually trying to go ahead and get this to a triple, and will be swinging in there just in time. Only his second triple of the season. It makes the job a lot easier for JT Realmuto. All you gotta do is head it out into the outfield, and you're gonna get a run in the game. And that's exactly what he did. It's gonna be a sacrifice fly. Giancarlo Stanton is gonna be able to get himself home, and Memphis will strike first here in the top of the second inning. Is now top of the third. Bobby Witt Jr. looking to see if the massive green wall in left field can hold him back, and it doesn't. But Witt, he's getting on his horse trying to get the free. He got in there somehow. Oh, wow. How about that effort for Bobby Witt Jr.? Should have been a lot of guys would have been thrown out in that situation. Let's make that perfectly clear. Not Bobby Witt Jr. He is going to be special in the USBL. He just needs a little bit more time to develop. But in the meantime, though, 2-0 lead here from Memphis Bobcats, as Jordan Balzovic has been looking pretty good, able to go ahead, get the strikeout from Nicky Montano. As now, George Polanco looking to go ahead and try to get things going here. Bottom of the third inning, hit down to right center field, and that is how the Louisville Colonials going to get themselves on the board. A solo shot for George Polanco. It's his 9th home run of the season, and it makes this thing just a 1-run game. As now, Jared Walsh looking to time this game, and wow, look at that hit. Nobody moving. It's a no-doubter. You already know what time it is, man. And it's going to be the 12th home run of the year for Jared Walsh, as this thing is now all tied at 2 apiece. Balzovic going to go ahead and get Buster Posey to look silly. He's, not known for the power, but he's a contact guy. I'm surprised that he had such a bad cut that led him to a strikeout, but at least he's not alone. Nico Horner, he's going to get struck out as well, but a surprising development here. I don't know if it was because Balzovic got hurt or what was going on, but Memphis goes to their bullpen in the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's not even a bad outing. I was actually just a little bit puzzled, and initially it doesn't work out for them. Marge Vicious, he's in for his 3rd appearance of the entire season. Doesn't hold the tie, so now we see the Louisville Colonials now with a lead. They're going to be up 3-2 right now, as John Birdie, he's going to be able to go ahead and get the steal at second base, sliding in there just in time. And it puts a runner in scoring position for Chris Bryant, who's supposed to be one of the stars for Memphis, but I don't know. It's been a little bit disappointing, to be honest with you. 267, 13 homers, 51 RBIs. It's solid, but when you spent a really high pick in the fantasy draft, you expect a little bit more, and that's not happening right now for Chris Bryant. That's for sure, as Chris Bryant will hit one out there into right field and will end up getting John Birdie home because he has such tremendous speed. I'm actually surprised that there wasn't a attempt to try to throw it back at home, But this thing is all tied up. Matt Olson cannot give them the lead, though. And that, we got an exciting game. Another exciting game to end this episode. And both teams need this game. Last year, the division was decided in the last couple of weeks. And it seems like it's trending in that direction as well, given that we are currently seeing a pretty tight division overall, top to bottom. As JD Romoto, he's going to hit it out into right field. And that's going to get all the way out to the wall as well. Charlie Blackmon, he's going to try to throw it in, but his arm just isn't what it used to be. He has been somebody that has been declining pretty quickly as of late. So Memphis able to take the lead off that. Dom T. Williams might get another run in as well, as Dom T. Williams beats that throw, as Nicky Montano couldn't get a complete hold of that, as Memphis now has a 5-3 lead. But we'll see if Lucas Sims can close the deal. 20 for 23 on save opportunities so far this season. As now, Nico Horner, he's at the plate, 0 for 3 so far on the day. Will be a good time right now to get that first hit, and that will certainly be able to get into the infield, as Horner, he's going for second base and should be able to get in there in time. Sliding in as well. So with a base runner being out there on the base paths, the tying run now is at home plate. Batting right now, it's Nicky Montano. 252, 2 homers, 20 RBIs so far in his rookie campaign. As Montano getting settled in here as we check in on what's going on. 1-1 count so far in this at bat, as Montano gets a pitch that he likes and is going to send this out into left field, and Nico Horner is going to get himself home. And Nicky Montano, well, he's going to be showing at second base right now. It's an RBI double for him, as now Trey Turner, 0 for 2, has 2 walks to his name as of right now. Let's see what he can do here. 3-1 count. Can he bring Nico Montano home? 3-1 delivery. It's hit out into center field, and this game is going to be all tied up now. So we got a 5-5 affair. Lucas Sims blows the save, and so Memphis goes to the bullpen again, going to Brad Boxberger. 35th appearance of the year, has 9 holds, as Charlie Blackmon at the plate, but Trey Turner gets the steal, and it's his 21st stolen base of the season. Look at this elite speed of Trey Turner. It definitely helps when you have that 99 speed to work with. So now all Charlie Blackmon has to do is get a base hit, and with the elite speed of Trey Turner, it will be the game-winning run, and that's what I'm talking about. Not really even much time to get home, and Charlie Blackmon ends up hitting in the game-winning run. In Louisville, they end up storming back and beating the Memphis Bobcats by a final score of 6-5 in a game that Louisville definitely needed going into that All-Star break. And speaking of that All-Star break, that is actually what we're going to have in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed today's USBL content, and if you did, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button for me. Hit subscribe if you have to be brand new to the channel, by the way, and like what you see as well. This is JohnJake Gaming on the mic, signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.